Today we're gonna light this mirror on fire. What? Hey, what's going on everyone? I'm Jody, this is Inspire Woodcraft. Today I'm going to tell you about this mirror that we actually salvaged from my neighbors going to the dump pile. We thought originally we'd make a new frame for it, but then I thought why not light it on fire because, you know, that's fun. So we brought it inside, we stripped off the hardware, flipped it over, and started going to town with sanding. Now, I'm using a Nylox brush here to strip. Some of you might remember that from my brushes video. The 120 grit seemed to not be as coarse, so we grabbed the 80 grit, but it started scratching up the mirror. So I wiped the whole thing down with denatured alcohol and put a rim of masking tape around it to protect it. After I had the tape on there, I was good to go with grinding again, and this thing worked amazing for stripping the paint off of this. This is actually the first time I've used these brushes for stripping paint down, and it worked really, really well. Got down into all the grooves and got me right back down to bare wood. Now I wiped the whole thing down with some denatured alcohol. That had nothing to do with the actual torching of it. It was just to get the dust off and kind of see where I was at and see if I needed to strip any more down. Next up was flame, and I just used the small propane torch for this. I got the edges pretty dark. The inside, I just wanted to get the ridges. Flame by nature doesn't like to go down into valleys very much, so I knew that the grooves were going to remain uncharred. And I was hoping that whatever color I used was actually gonna be pretty vibrant once I got in there. So I took a handheld wire brush and brushed the outside of the frame off, just to get the loose char off. And then I came through with that same wire brush and I brushed the face as well, just to try and even out some of the hot spots, and dusted the whole thing off. We went back and forth with the finishing style that we wanted to do on this. We thought about color. In the end, we decided to go with boiled linseed oil, actually. I like the sort of amber tone that it gives. The thing with boiled linseed oil is you kind of have to flood the surface and make sure you get into all these little grooves. Because that's what's going to cause that contrast of color, and to be fair, you want to protect the whole thing anyways. The tape melted around the edges when I burned. Didn't affect the mirror at all, but it did leave a sticky residue behind. So if I grabbed the scraper and started scraping away and then cleaned it back up with denatured alcohol. Now here I'm just taking a card and I'm using it to protect the inside of the frame, just going with the paper towel and mineral spirit. After that, I just wiped the whole thing off with some regular old windex. Now I'm going to show you guys my new favorite thing. This is a French cleat. Normally I would make my own French cleats, but this one comes in a tight little bundle. It's like $9. I'll throw a link below if I can find them. I just find the center mark, line up my center mark on the back of the piece, throw in a couple screws, that side's good to go. The other half that attaches to the wall has its own little sight level in there, and you just get it onto the wall where you want it, level it out, screw it into the wall, you're good to go. All was left to do is hang it up. Alright, now a couple things. One, I am going to put more than one coat of boiled linseed oil on there. Over the next 3 or 4 days, I'm going to put probably a coat per day on there. That'll give the coat behind it a good chance to soak in and lock down before I get the next coat on there. Another thing is that mineral spirits and denatured alcohol, to my knowledge, are used to cut and thin boiled linseed oil. If you're going to use a finish like that on here and then use a solvent to clean the glass back off, be very careful. You wouldn't want drips to get down in there. That's why I used the gift card trick to butt up against there so that it wouldn't ride along the edge itself and wipe off and thin out the finish that I just put on. All right, and last but not least, I know someone's gonna ask, what about this charred outside edge with the boiled linseed oil? Doesn't it come off on your hands? Well, I've got nothing on my hands right now, and that's just with one coat. So I'm assuming after 3 or 4 more coats, this thing's gonna be ready to go. Now remember, I brushed this off with the wire brush, so it doesn't have a gator look to it. It's a very subtle, smooth look. Anyway, all in all, this was a really fun project. This was a first for me. I haven't really done much of paint stripping or stain stripping on furniture, and I also haven't burnt a mirror before. Anyways, if you could think of anything you guys might do different, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Other than that, like, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff, and I will see you guys next time. I think I'm gonna build a shop stool. We'll see. All right, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.